Good morning. How's everybody doing? Getting a little bit earlier start today in the morning. I got quite a few things I got to get done this afternoon, so I'll try to move up my timeline just a little bit. So, how is everybody doing this morning? Let me write down orders here. Black, red, yellow. Paid 3. What was yesterday? All right. All right, got that semi set up. I'll get the rest of the details on that in just a little bit. Let's get some tunage going. So, how's everybody doing this morning, though? Thank you very much. Guess. Sorry about that. I have a hard time trying to read everybody's name. Love the little tiny things that we're going to work on. That's pink. We're going to be doing some red. We're going to be jamming out today too. I got plenty of pink. Guess I got to cut some red. That's pink. Got a lot of pink. Thailand, really? Where are you at in Thailand? I was actually just there studying. Been studying there for the past 2 years. I was up in Pai. Woo woo. Cool. I'm not. Is that down south, down at the beach? I was up. If you know where Pai is at, I was up there studying Shaolin Kung Fu. I was going up there through Namyang, if you've ever heard of it. But between Chiang Mai, South Islands, okay, yeah, I was down in. I went there during COVID. I did my quarantine down in Phuket, over in Kamala, kind of away from Phuket City. So it was. I was one of the first planes that landed there after COVID hit, and they did the first quarantine when they did the Phuket scheme in 2020, 2021. Yeah, it was whatever time it was. Yo, yes, please, please, please. I cannot find it, but yes, Top Do is the one I'm looking for. That would be phenomenal. That's awesome. Are you going to be there for a while? You living there, studying there, staying there, traveling there? What you got? Very curious now. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was supposed to be going back in June, but with being down for the shoulder surgery, that's got put on the back burner, so I'm not going to be going back there till next January. Contingent on a few things that I'm working on today. Oh, nice. So there's a 10-day meditation retreat in, what's the name of the town? If you do the Mae Hong Son Loop, oh, it is Mae Hong. It's between Mae Hong Son and Pai. There is a temple that you can go do a retreat at that I was on my to-do list. Well, I'm really glad to have you here. That really makes me feel really good about that. I appreciate that. That's awesome. It's beautiful there. I was kind of hoping, well, schedules got all changed around, but we're getting it sorted out. Do me a favor, if you could, shoot me a link to that. Send it in a DM or something. I'd be very curious to see about the one you're in. I tried to stay away from being down south since it was more of a party town and more of recreational side than it was anything else. So I was trying to stay up north because I'm not a big fan of all the crowds. So I was fortunate when I went there that I was down in Phuket. I did my 2 weeks quarantine down there, and then pretty much the rest of my time was spent between Muay Thai. Oh, that's awesome. Ask away, Michael. Ask away. Yeah, Muay Thai has definitely been one of my latest concerns. I was trying to, or not concerns, interest. How you doing, Tinkerbell? I was actually studying Kung Fu, and I finished my instructor certification with it. I was intending to go back to finish my advanced, but Muay Thai is definitely something I've been looking to as soon as I can get this shoulder fixed up. There's a Muay Thai camp not too far from here. How are you doing this morning, Tinkerbell? How's that head feeling? Yes, it is. I'm very much. So I studied the Kung Fu. We did the Tiger Crane, and I was studying it more for the piece of it, and studying Buddhism, and Muay Thai really caught my attention. But I was hesitant to start training on it because some of the training kind of conflicts. Tinkerbell, did you look into that A stem that I was telling you about? Okay, yeah, you bet. So, Michael, this is a chevron pattern. This would be what I call a 50-50. So this is all one side, one color on it. We also have combinations that I could do like this, where this is a 3-in-1. What else do we have for alternatives? So this is another 3-in-1 that's over here. Because the patterns are set out at 4 strips in one direction, 4 strips in the other direction, I can do any combination of those. It just needs to be equal numbers. So I had a lot of people that have contacted me wanting to know about putting in 3 colors, and it really throws off the sequence because you're going to end up with 2 colors side by side with each other unless you do 2 blacks. Yeah, ask them about it, Tinkerbell. I highly recommend it. If you were closer, I would let you borrow mine. It was something the VA suggested to me, and I started using it both for calming as well as anything else. But the A stem, if you've never looked into that, it's not like the E stem. It's not a muscle stimulant. It's a frequency, not a stimulant. So, to answer your question, Michael, it works out that any combination you want to do between 4 and 4, because they'll overlap, and then that's how I get the plaiting out. So anything you can kind of work out as long as it ends up with. No worries. We can do any combination you want on that. It's usually not an issue. But here, as you can see, I had to incorporate 4 colors on this one because trying to do 3 really threw it off. That if I was to do black, blue, gray, then it would be black again, and we'd start the sequence all over again. So that's the issues with doing 3 colors. It's not that it's a no-go. It just has to be one of the 3 colors has to be doubled. So, like if I was doing this in 3 colors, I could do black, white, black, blue, black, white, black, blue. So if I change the gray that's in this out for a black, then this could technically be 3 colors, but it's technically 2 blacks. 2 blacks, 1 gray, and 1 blue. And that would give me my 4 going down both sides, and then it would actually work out to be all chevrons going down this. That makes sense. The reason why I love these lives, because it gives me the opportunity to answer those questions that are really hard to try to text and really hard to try to explain. All right, so we're back in the shop today. We're going to be working on several things. We're going to be working again back on the yin yang. I've got red that I got to get cut up because I don't have any of it. I just got the hide in not too long ago, but I do have an order in for it, as well as I've got to get the rest of these put together, and then we're going to be going in. Morning, Michael. How you doing? How's everything going up there? Black, red, purple. We can do that, but it would have to be black, red, or purple would have to be doubled. So if you want the three colors, we can do it. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, typically I'm sitting in the parking lot of the VA waiting for anything. Good morning, Rachel. But Michael, or not, yeah, Michael, we got Dark Ram and I got Michael. Michael is talking to me about the plating. Yeah, I can take any of those three as long as you let me double one of those two colors. We can do it. So I could go black, red, black, purple, and then the sequence starts over again. Or we could do red, black, red, purple. Any combination you want of that. I just need to use 4. So if you're using 3, figure out how you want to double it over. Easiest way to put it. Freaking tired of too much coffee. All right, let me go grab this red hide right quick. I will be right back. I'm still here. So put this little tin back up. Gotta get out a full hide. I got an order in. Oh Jesus! These full hides are no joke. All right. I wish I could help you out. Double red, we can do that. So just think of how you want to do it. If you want to do red, black, red, purple, then you go red, black, red, purple, red, black, red, purple. Let me cut up this scrap right here. Where's my... I feel for you. I do. All right, let me get my table cleared off, and then we're going to cut up this hide. Get these orders all cut up because we're going to working on it to get the table cleared off because I'm about to have to start cutting those long strips, which I'm dreading to say the least. But well, Michael, I'd offer to go live with you if you weren't about to go to work. That whole priority thing. You know, work's so overrated. But that's what I'm here doing. So I got some news we're going to be putting out today. I've got a venture that we're going to be looking for. I've been doing a lot of research and I've been kind of procrastinating finishing up my degrees. It's just been a lot of other things going on in my world, and I've been kind of putting it off. I finished up 2 of my degrees last year, and it was all moving in the progress that I wanted to, and I knew that after I finished all that up, the first of this year was going to be one of the first steps. But for a variety of different reasons, I've been procrastinating on it, and I need to stop. So I've got a game plan I'm working on, and figured out exactly how I'm going to pursue finishing up my master's degree in psychology, which is actually starting to get a little bit more extensive than what my original intent was. So we're going to be I don't know what they were up to in there. Oh, I love Pandora, the way it's just completely unfiltered. Alright. There's that. This over. There's that. Alright. So everything's back behind my line here. Thank you very much, Cartwright. I appreciate that. Got my area cleared out. All right. got y'all enough room here. Y'all good? Okay. Template. Put that right there. Don't need that for the moment. Alright, I think I'm about ready. Now, y'all seen the size of these hides. So I gotta find where we're gonna start at. And this is what I want the whole table cleared off, because then I can just lay this whole hide out on it. But not a luxury I have at the moment. Let's see, this is not an overly massive hide. It's not too bad. All right. Thank you very much for the rose. I appreciate all that, huh? Thank you very much. All right, let's find center here. It's a little bit harder to do with one arm. This hide's folded over 4 times. I just need to, what it gives me the opportunity to do is to look at the hide, see where all my blemishes, brands, pieces of the hide that I can't use, or all that exists at. So we can try to avoid that too. See, that's, can use that. Again, if y'all are interested in it, I do have tons of scrap leather. Good morning, Peach. How are you doing? That I'm looking to get rid of. So if y'all are interested for some leather for y'all's projects, top grain leather, you're not going to find it any cheaper than what I'm selling it for, because it's helpful to me if y'all buy it up. It really gives me more room and more space. But I'm a hoarder for it. I don't like getting rid of leather, so it's been an issue. But I've got bags and bags of it, and I would love for y'all to get it. I love hearing about y'all's projects that y'all work on these things. It's one of my favorite things to get from y'all is whenever y'all send me pictures of the projects y'all are working on. Let's see, I got sections like this. It's too small for me to do anything with for most of my projects, but this is a huge piece for a lot of people that are working on things. I'm doing all right this morning. I'm getting a little bit earlier start than normal, but I've also got some time I need to make up for, so easily justified. I've got quite a bit of things that I need to get caught up on today. And first off, I need to do is figure out how to cut these things all the way. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Y'all remember those days when I just sit over here and just cut tails all afternoon? I'm about due for one of those. There we go. Alright, so if y'all are interested in scrap leather, then by all means let me know. Aside from that, my selfish shout out is please like, share, follow, go promote this. Y'all are the reason I get to do this, and y'all are the reason why I do this. So please help me continue to do it. I think it's about time for a new blade. Who's that? Who that? Oh, thank you, Peach. Peach, you rock. All right. So we had a couple topics going on in the Discord. For those of y'all that are members of our Discord, if you're not a member of it yet, I highly recommend you join it. There was some great conversations. We had some great topics. The Toy Box decided to deem Wednesdays is Wiener Wednesdays. So yesterday there was some excitement going on in the chat with everything. The easiest way to put it. I do really enjoy having like-minded individuals in our groups like that. It keeps everything fun. It keeps everything entertaining. But if you are new to the community and you are interested in meeting like-minded individuals, then please go join our Discord. The link is in my link tree. Go join it. It's, there's no catch to it. But it's a place where we can continue these conversations that we have on here, as well as a place to open up for some new ones. Because there's many topics that we can't discuss on TikTok because they don't like me. So we carry on the conversations in the Discord, as well as open up for new conversations that aren't social media friendly. So please, let's keep that up. Grateful for everybody that's in that. I think many of my regular followers are members on the Discord group. Put that over there for scrap. So we have a tab in there that we set up for people wanting to recommend questions or topics to discuss on the lives. And some of them get a little bit harder to navigate at how we can do the discussion, simply trying to keep in. Morning, Kiss. Some of them a little bit harder to navigate, trying to figure out how it is we keep up, stay within the guidelines of TikTok, which I think is bullshit. We are not discussing anything that's outside of any realm. But unfortunately, TikTok doesn't even like some of the verbiage that we use. So if anything sounds like I'm speaking in code, it's not because I want to. It's because, unfortunately. You doing good, Kiss? So when we have to discuss things in code, it's simply because TikTok doesn't want me to mention some of the names, so we have to refer to as D types and S types, and it's a childish game that we have to play. But we will play the role as much as we want. But we're also going to be moving, or I'm not moving. If TikTok keeps shutting me down, we're going to Instagram. So again, Linktree, go follow me on Instagram. But in regards to the Linktree, we're actually going to be doing some interviews that'll be coming up here pretty soon. Actually in a couple weeks. I'll be conducting them. I've got several people already lined up for them. And those videos are going to be put onto my YouTube channel. Nice. Oh yeah, I hate it when that happens. It's the leather dye. I typically just order mine from, because I don't go through a bulk of it. That is something that I just run down to Tandy to go pick up mine. I'm fortunate enough that where I live at is right next to the corporate headquarters of Tandy. Well, it's not right next to, but it's within driving distance. So, Peach, I appreciate that. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Alright. Just about done with this thing. Because I got to start cutting strips for the handle. So we got 2 handles that I got to get done today. Another order that came in last night. And we're going to start them right in here. But I want to try to get as much out as I can, because this is where y'all get to pick from. There's not one. I've got like 4 around me. I got a small one that I go drive to that's not too far up the road. And then there's the corporate headquarters over in Fort Worth, and that's all of about a 45-minute drive. One day we'll make a field trip out there. I think that would be a fun time, actually. I think y'all would enjoy the trip down to Tandy. Alright, let me figure out how I'm going to do this next cut here. Alright, we're going to do, we want up to the 18. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'll make sure I'm getting. I'm about to do a long cut here. Because we need. If I do that. All right, so remember, let's hit the like, the share, follow button on this thing. That's how we get more likes, loves, follows on it. More customers I got, the longer I get to do this, more fun it is. That's the 19s. That's the 18s right at the top of. See, that's a long way away. That's too long to be driving. That's too long. Yeah, mine's not that far. I consider myself fortunate on that. Alright, I need 18s out of this. So we could do... Sorry, I'm trying to do math in my head here. Don't want to deprive myself of cuts. Alright, I hope it's a good phone call. So if I did that, I'm going to end up cutting off the access here. But I get it down to here. So y'all bear with me for just 1 second. I'm trying to get my head straight on this one because I need to not ruin any leather. If I did that, then that's going to leave. I can do 18 on that. Alright, let's get one more square out of this thing. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I used to live in Virginia Beach. Still got friends and family up there, actually. Alright, let's cut this from here. Get that off. Another piece can go over the strap. pull this piece off, and then it'll be good to cut. Yeah, I definitely, pros and cons are worth it, I would say. I enjoyed living out and about far more than I enjoy being in the city, but unfortunately, it's nature of the beast in some accounts. But I'm working on it, and hopefully I'll only be in the city for a little while longer. Alright, so here's still the rest of the hide. We'll put that up in just a minute. Let's get this finished cutting out here. Don't let me forget to give y'all an update on the yin yang dragons. Alright, now we should be good. I grew up out in the country, born and raised. My house that I grew up in, I had a 2,500 acre backyard. So it's very much my neck of the woods. Yeah, I live in the city now. I still try to spend as much time out in the country as I possibly can. But it's not as easy as I'd like it to be. If you go to my bio, there's the link tree in it. So if you back out of the live, I guess you have to back out of the live. But if you go to my bio, there's a link tree in it. I'm not sure if I have any of my mods on here, but if you let me know what link you're looking for, I can see about getting one of them to post it on here as well. Alright, let's test this and see how good my scoping was. Sweet. Thank you very much, Kiss. My fans are great. If I ever mentioned that, I don't think I mentioned that enough. Y'all make my life wonderful. My customers, my fans, my mods, I'm grateful for all of y'all. If it weren't for y'all, I wouldn't be able to do half the things that I'm able to do here. This is another gift for one of my fans. My Linktree's got my Amazon wish list in it. Oh, this is as well. We're just discussing with another fellow traveler as well. About trips to Asia. She's actually... How is everybody doing this morning? Everybody having a good week? Have a good hump day? Wednesdays are my day off, so if you didn't see me on yesterday, I take off Wednesdays and Saturdays, so I'll be back on again Sunday. Kind of helps with my schedule. I was trying to think that if you're over there, yeah, I think so. It should just say a link tree, and then you click on the link tree and it takes you to emails, websites. If you scroll down it, you'll find my Amazon, you'll find the YouTube, Discord. All those links should be in there. I only get so much room that I can write on the bios on these things, so Linktree is saving grace on that. Nice. I need to organize my workstation as well. My shop. I've got projects that I'm burying and I shouldn't be. I will get to them very shortly. But I've got a couple events coming up, so we're trying to get stock built up. Chris will not be joining us today. Chris is actually on his way to Georgia for the event LLC, Leather Leadership Conference. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I haven't personally vended at that one or presented at that one as of yet. But to my understanding is it's a conference that is always moving. Could somebody put the Michael, are you looking for the Discord link? Thank you for all the loves, everybody. But Michael, are you? Could somebody take the Discord link and put it in the feed, please? I don't think I can type while I'm live. But if you're on Discord, it's under House of Marcus. If you want to search that, just make sure you spell Marcus correct. Okay. Hold on one second, Michael. I'm gonna see what I can do to get you set up here. The link tree should be working, but we'll figure it out one way or the other. If you're on Discord, it's under House of Marcus. That is the name of the group or page or whatever you want to call it in Discord. Let me see how it is that I can put that in here. Discord. How do I get to the main? I'm still learning this Discord stuff as it is too. So it's House of Marcus. There's the. I know it's backwards, but it's House of Marcus is the Discord group, and you'll see my logo up in the top corner. If that helps you out any. I don't think I can type on the lives, or I would send it to you there. I guess all my mods right now are out at the moment. I came on a little bit earlier than everybody was expecting. We got time. But you can reach me on the Discord. You can also email me at info@leathermarcus.com. It's not a hard person to track down. Thank you very much, Kiss. Hey, Peach, would you put up the Discord? Or we have a person that's trying to get a hold of the Discord, but I think Kiss just put it up there. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with the link tree, or if we're just having some technical errors on it. But we will get you sorted out. I mean, my fans are taking care of it. I got Kiss taking care of it. I got one of my mods back in here now, so we'll get you pointed in the right direction. Y'all are awesome. I'm grateful for all of y'all. But today is going to more than likely be a long day. With the toy box was actually... Yeah, Michael, make sure that works. Please do let me know. If it doesn't, we will get you sorted out. So the toy box was actually bringing up an idea. It's another part of me, I guess, and wanting to do a yoga, which it's not yoga, but it's the easiest way to describe it. A yoga evening of stretching and meditating. So we're thinking about seeing if y'all wanted to join in on that. Not sure if that would be something that I should do on here or if it's something I should do on the YouTube. I think I probably need to get some more content put up on the YouTube. It's been something that I worked on a little bit here in the past, but I've always had quite a few other distractions to keep me busy from it. So probably well, I do know we're going to be doing interviews on it. I've already got those lined up. Building up context, I've got several different variations of types of people that I'm going to be interviewing. And that's going to be happening here in just a couple weeks at an event we've got going on, providing everything works out. I'm working with the event coordinators right now to make sure that they're going to let me in the door to go do these interviews. But we'll be discussing with Dr. Bob, Robert Rubel, for any of y'all that are familiar with his books. He's a very good friend of mine. I think the world of him. He is closer to Tai Chi. So it's a moving meditation that you do, and I'm an instructor for Qigong, and I haven't been teaching it since I got back from Asia. I've been very much on recovery from all of this, so that was part of my reasons for going there, was to get an instructor certification, because it is part of the services that I offer up through Fox and Lion, which is my alternative lifestyle education and coaching. So you can also find the link to that in my link tree. The program is still very much on the building phase. I have a few clients that are in it, but we are still trying to work out several of the details and getting things sorted out with it. So y'all, please be patient. I'm trying to take advantage of as much as I can while I'm down in recovery, but I've got 2 more weeks well, 1 more week as of tomorrow of being stuck in the sling thing. Or at least I'll go back to the doc and he tells me how much longer I'm going to be in it. And I am ready to get out of it, to say the least. I don't like being confined. It's not my cup of tea. I do the confining, not the other way around. So we're going to be putting together some reds. I got a twin set we're going to be doing. The customer did not give any specifications for how we do the combination, which is something y'all get the option to do, especially for those of y'all customers that are following on TikTok. Y'all get the option to pick how we do the plaiting. And I think that's awesome. I enjoy y'all's combinations y'all throw in. It gives me a different insight, and it's doing something a little different than... Oh, that's where we run out. See, so now I got another huge piece that needs to go. That needs to go to somebody. So yeah, but I will be getting more information on the meditation thing. I'm actually going to work on that this week. I think that would be a really good thing that is long overdue. Do I have it? That black needs to go over here. I've got quite a few more wicked stitched we need to do. I just got a lot we need to do. That's just all there's to it. There's just a lot. So y'all stick around. We're going to be doing fun stuff. Making all sorts of different products. And I hope they all get a new home before they get finished. That makes me feel better. When I make these things and y'all decide y'all want them before I finish them, that's good. Makes it more fun for me to do. And then y'all get to pick them out as I'm building them. Let's see if I can get some 18s out of some of this. And this is it's all good, Peach. I appreciate your help, nonetheless. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for it. Don't let anything tell you any different. Okay, so it's 1 inch off, so we're gonna cut that at 13. But I'm going to finish these two handles up, this plating, this red and black. And if anybody has any orders they want to put in, then would be the time to put it in. We'll be setting up to make some necks. So color options you have available are, shoot you in the right direction here. There's some of what you can see there. I'll get you a better view in just a few minutes, but if you have a color concept in mind, let me know. We're also going to be doing some candles here shortly. Got some more orders in for that. Outstanding. Wonderful. That's great. Hold still. I will tell you what, this one-handed thing is driving me batty. All right. I need to cut some. We're going to go ahead and put that over here too. I got a bunch of wicked stitch that I got to work on. See, how's that going to work? How long is that? Can y'all hear the music? I'm in a mood today. Not really sure why. Not really sure for what. I'm just not in a bad mood, just a mood. So let me show y'all some of the difficulties in dealing with leather. Y'all saw me cut up a hide. When you say a leather bow, you talking about like a bow tie bow? We used to make those. I'd have to see if I can find my pattern for them. I haven't made one in quite a few years. Yeah. Alright, so this is not going to work the way I want it to, but we're going to go ahead and make them anyway because they'll work out fine for the wicked stitched. I got to get some more orders coming up because we got SPLF coming in the way. Michael, I would love to say yes, I can, but in all reality, that is something that I don't have my pattern handy for. I'm going to send you to Leather Masters. As much as I hate to do that, I do know that we made leather bow ties, but I honestly do not have the pattern handy for me, and it was not something that I was proficient in. I had a guy manufacturing that was really good at those. They're not complicated to do, but I just do not have the pattern handy for me, and I would hate to take on the order and not be able to get it done. My apologies for that. But we could reach out to Vark. Vark may be able to get you set in the right direction as well. Morning, Rowan. How are you doing? Well, SPLF is sold out. So if you didn't buy tickets months ago, you're not getting in it anyway. Not this time, but there is Next season, or next year, is an annual event that goes on here in DFW. So I will be there. I will be giving feedback from it. So if it is something, if you're looking to add a leather event into your schedule, then SPLF is one that I'll recommend. It has a new board of directors this year. I have never gone to the event as it's being ran by these directors, so it will be a new experience for me as well. Supposedly they've got several new things coming online, and I'm interested and excited to see what they're bringing to the table. Well, if you live here in DFW, the events that go on is you have SPLF, which is South Plains Leatherfest. You have BED, which is Bondage Expo Dallas, but it's also Denver, because they have a Colorado event as well. There's TBRU, which is Texas Bear Roundup. That's your thing. Obviously, there's Pride, which that's always a fun time. And what other events go on here in DFW? Several of them got shut down or didn't make it through COVID, which is unfortunate. But there was another event that was called Will, and it's Women in Leather Legacy, but it didn't survive from COVID. Another event not Beyond Vanilla. How long is that? Ooh, I can use that. What other events they had? There was Beyond Vanilla BV, and I've heard rumors on it, but I can't vouch for validity on what's going on with BV just yet. Rumors I've heard have been quite interesting, but I cannot vouch for validity for anything that I personally know just yet. There's always some fun parts in it. But those are the ones that are going on here in Texas. I will be in Oklahoma for Oklahoma Leatherfest. Those of y'all that live in Oklahoma area. That one is on my schedule. I will be presenting there at that one. And then I will be in Florida for a few events in June. They are not leather events. They are adult events, I guess, the easiest way to put it. There you go. Or you got all your tickets? Outstanding. Well, then I look forward to seeing you at those. But these events, don't forget to get your tickets in advance. They do sell out. And if it's your first time ever attending an event, I highly recommend that you stay at the hotel, the host hotel, if it's an option. You know, some people. But I'll tell you from personal experience that not having to leave is a huge plus. That I underestimated the value of not having to actually walk out the door from events. I actually had an event a couple years ago that I learned this lesson the hard way, or was my confirmation on this lesson, that the hotel I was staying at was literally right next to the event hotel. I mean, it was a walk across the street kind of thing. And it still posed as such an inconvenience. Because inside the hotel, especially with these hotel takeovers, they will designate the entire area that they will say is, event space. And in that event space, you're usually pretty fair reign. The limitations of having to be appropriately dressed to the civilian world, or mannerisms and things like that actually go away. So if you're having to run back to your room to go change or to get something you forgot about, having to get public friendly, run to your hotel, come back, and then change again or adjust again is can be an inconvenience, but it can also be worth the funds depending on what the hotel changes are. Because all these events are different. There's no standardization between it all. These are turning out to be thinner than I'd hoped for, but I actually got a project coming in, so I'm not sure if this customer's on at the moment. The customer requested a Wicked Stitched, the one that's chevron pattern over here, and they also are sending me a cane, so we're going to be doing a matching cane. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to doing that. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I need to. We need to talk offline. If you want to reach out to me on any of the other platforms, you got my contact, or if you got my number, let's sit down and do some discussion. I need to get my schedule filled up, and I'm going to be out of this thing in a week, so I've got a lot of collecting up to do, to say the least. I'm behind on times. I need to get with Taurus. I need to see what's all going on with this Red Room or whatever it used. That's what it was. I'm not sure. I know things have changed while I've been out of pocket and while I was out of the country, and I want to catch up. Need to collect up on these things, and if y'all need any help with the demos and putting stuff on, do not hesitate to reach out. If you also may be interested on it, I am collecting up on my interviews that I'm going to be doing for my YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing some roundtable discussions. So if y'all may okay, yeah, you let me know. So here's what I'm looking to do with locals around here, and what I'm going to be doing at SPLF, if y'all may be interested in doing it, is just having some open discussions. Opening up my backyard, figured sit around the fire pit, have a couple drinks, set up the camera, and sit down and have discussions on different topics. The main audience that I have going on with most of my pages on this are people that are new to the community, and trying to help get them pointed out in the right direction. It is kind of the focus of my concentration, is to help all these people that are coming on and getting them pointed in the right direction. It's very important to me, and as y'all can all attest to the importance of people coming in on the right foot. There's been way too many stories, and many of them are horror stories, about people coming into the community that have been pointed in the wrong direction, and they come in with the wrong perception, or they never got set right into some of their accusations of what actually goes on in these alternative lifestyles. And that makes it very dangerous for the rest of us. And it's very much a focus of mine, is to try to create a safe environment for not only those that are coming into this community, but those of us that are already in it. And they're one and the same. One and the same. So in these discussions, it's going to be kind of an open forum. We're going to try to pick a topic, but we are going to be addressing those of us, or those that are coming new into this community, to answer some of the questions that they don't have the resources to get answered in other manners. Yeah, Taurus and I have done a couple of that. I'm going to get Taurus on right now. I'm very much just getting this ball rolling on this. Podcast is probably one of my end results, but I am trying to keep a sanity check on this with how many projects I've got on my plate right now until I have somebody that's able to assist me in these things. It's complicated, especially with some of the research that I was just doing last night, that I may have just found something I've been looking for, or finally answered a question that I've been working to answer, and that was on this continued education. What's going to be my path and my manner to go about it, and finding designations for sexual health education it's kind of a niche market in many different facets, and it's not as easy as you would think. So working on the accreditations for all that and the courses to finish up my ASIC certification, and I may have just found what I've been looking for. So this afternoon I'll be making some more phone calls, which is how I spent most of yesterday, getting this stuff sorted out. But between that, production, these live videos, going to events, as well as my evenings are dedicated to working with my existing clients that I have now. Which I want to thank all of y'all for any of my clients that may be on here right now. I really appreciate all of y'all. It's great education on my behalf, seeing things from a different perspective. Each person that I work with gives me a new view of things, which then I get the opportunity to pass that on to my next clients. It's a learning process for all of us. I personally really enjoy it. Alright, so we're done with that one. Getting more of these and they're going to get too short. But yeah, I'll reach out to Taurus. I need to reach out to the House of Fusion. I'm going to set up, see if anybody may be interested in coming over one afternoon, sitting around the fire pit, having a couple drinks, and discussing life. I want to do them live, but the benefit we also have with doing things on YouTube is that I will be able to go live during the videoing, but then also turn around and save it for future use. I think this one's going to stretch too much as well. Crap. Need a different block. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So these are all ones that I gotta finish cutting. That's 18, isn't it? Yep, that's 18. Essentially what I can do. Those are all spoken for. I would. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. If y'all want to reach out to me offline, let's schedule a time. I think during the week, one afternoon would be phenomenal. It would be the best opportunity for me. Then not inflicting on anybody's weekend work schedules or things of that sort. But yeah, let's make it happen. I'm in. Spent too much time trying to work out logistics on things when I just need to do them and get it done. I was kind of hoping to not have to pull this thing out, do this, but This is what we're going to have to do. Alright, let me find my center here. My spine right there. Just don't want to take the chance of ruining any more of this. Is she local here in the Dallas area, Rowan? Why is your TikTok hating you? You don't need no hating this. It's all love. Everybody be happy. Happy times. That's what we're here for. Hold on 1 second. Let me go pour out some tea. And then get right back into this. You're typing right now. I can't see y'all. In about 30 seconds. I'm gonna do some red tea today. This was a new one for me. I remember the last time I had it. It's something else I picked up when I was over in Asia. So this is going to be good time. Tea there. Is it messing up on y'all? Because it seems pretty smooth on my end, which is ironic. I'm not getting all my errors popping up left and right. That's my spine. I need to stay off that seam. I'm talking to myself here. That to be so we can do that 2 4 6 8. So I did square it up by this time, and it's not sure what's going on with TikTok in that regards. Quite frustrating. I think that would be the proper description of it. One second, everybody. I just need to make sure I do this cut right, because this is a lot of leather I'm about to cut into, and I don't want to do it wrong. We don't want to mess up a lot of hide. Yeah, the discussion of getting off TikTok has been a very popular one, a very constant one. And it's something that is beyond crap that we're having to deal with in this thing. It's just, I'll break my neck here. All I'm trying to do is get out education out to people, and I don't know if it's the app itself or if it's the nature of my profile on this app. It's crap. It's crap. That's all there is to it. It's just crap. It's too much. tell you that it makes me quite aggravated with how complicated it's being to try to get education out. And I've opened up a Twitch account, have not done anything with it. It existed, but that's the reason why we're going to be moving these video recordings, these interviews. We're going to be taking those over to YouTube. Everything we're going to be discussing, we're not doing anything that's outside the norm, but the conversations that we're looking at are adult in nature. They're not dedicated for kids or for under 18. As a counselor, as a coach, I don't work with anybody under the age of 18. There's just too many complexities that go into working with minors, and I'm already pushing this into a field that is conflicting to the social norm as it is anyway. And I don't need the prosecution of dealing with, or the complexity that goes with dealing with minors. There are resources for that, and I'm grateful for it, but in my perspective, these alternative lifestyles are based around consent, and for legality reasons, my view on consent, to try to simplify things, is if you legally can't consent, then I can't get your consent. So that being in regards to working with minors, is they legally can't consent to me for the conversations and nature of topics that we would discuss. So I don't work with them. And it's, like I said, I have resources for people that do work with minors. And for a professional context, it's just more work than what I can contribute. But it's working with a minor is kind of like working on TikTok. Is I am open to everybody else's scrutiny and perception of conversations that are going on that are taken completely out of context and an uneducated perspective. So I will work with parents. Some of the classes that I do teach is teaching parenting, poly and parenting. That's one of the classes that I teach. And it's for people that are in ethical, non-monogamous relationships and have children. So we discuss some manners to go about them so that the children can have their own choices, because we don't want to force the children into our decisions. Speaking as a parent's perspective, we want to give them the same option to make the choices as we want. But if you're wanting to live your life and you have children and you are in an E&M type of situation, there's some education that needs to go from the parent to the children to help navigate that, because we don't want to impose on our children our wishes. We want them to live their own life, but we also shouldn't refrain from being ourselves. We should live by example. So if we want to tell our children that you need to be you, and you need to live your life the way that you see fit, and you want to raise your children to have a good moral compass, then I think it's very important that you lead by example. And I think part of that leading by example falls under the fact of being who you honestly are, and not letting the social norms, the assumption of the social norms, be something that's holding you back. And I would think as a parent, we would want to impose that same impression onto our children. So part of that is leading by example. Yeah, and we can absolutely do that. So Peach, if you'd like, we can definitely set up a time to... Not a problem at all. The one thing you have to realize is that depending on the age of the child, that 5 years to a 30-year-old short time frame. 5 years to a 10-year-old is half their life. That's a difficult perspective. We often forget looking at it when we come in as an adult looking into the children. Things that they see as dramatically important in their life, us as adults sometimes see it from a different perspective. And it's not that either one are wrong, but that unfortunately is usually the conflict, is not what they're seeing, it's usually their perspective on it. And trying to explain to a teenager how those friends you have in school right now that you are dedicating your value in life based around is something that the minute you leave school will probably not be an issue anymore and not be something you're going to concern about. Uh-oh. Well, I guess it'll make life a lot easier when internet's down, right? So the thing you have to look at is, I don't have my notes on me, so I'm going to shoot this from the hip. And we'll do this out for some free education for those of y'all that are on here watching this that are parents or deal with adolescents on a normal basis. So y'all please like and hit all the likes, loves on this one. Let's try to get, I think this is a very good topic we can get out. So y'all help me get this information out to everybody else. Nose itchy. All right, so here's the thing we want to look at. That starting from birth, children view the world in tunnel vision. So again, I don't have my notes handy with me, so we're going to shoot this from a hip onto the exact age range. But as children progress from 0 to 3 years old, they see the world as like a room. All right, so up to about 3 years old, their entire world exists in their house. That is the world that's there. That's what they see. They see the people that are in the house. They see the environment that goes on in the house. They see what they are. It's a completely new experience, but this becomes what they see as their social norm. This is what normal is to them. You know, the people, the persons, the amount of people that are in the house, the mannerisms, how they handle the animals, the whole dog, this becomes home. And that's what they base on. Now, as they progress through the world, instead of seeing just their house, then they start to see, say, the property. Let's say you live on a couple acres. So their view then goes from their house to the area around it, their neighborhood maybe. And that becomes the world. But you talk with a 5-year-old about issues going on in Canada or even in Mexico, it doesn't register to them the same as it does for us. So they view things differently. And as they get older, that perspective on the world continues to grow. So it goes from a house, then all of a sudden they see their neighborhood. Between 1 to 3, they say they see their house. Between 3 to 6, now all of a sudden they get the neighborhood. So now they're out playing in the neighborhood. They're playing with other kids that are around. Now they realize that there's other people out there, that they're experiencing difference. Things that are different than it is in their house. And this, if you're also familiar, it's about the same time when all the whys start coming into play, which ironically start fitting into the same time frame when their perspective of the world starts to expand and they are seeing other things different than just what went on in their house. You know, and these differences may seem very minor to us as adults, but to someone that has such short time on this planet and such a short time of being aware of what's going on this planet, some of this information is dramatically different. Okay, thank you very much. So that's a huge perspective you have to keep in mind when you're dealing with children as they are progressing through the ages. As parents, so this is not meant to be a, let me tell you how to parent thing, but this is just that at the same time. So as they get older, their expansion goes from their house to now they're starting to witness the neighborhood. They're starting to see the other kids that are in it. And everything becomes comparable to what they design or what they see as their normal. So if they grew up in a house where everybody wore cowboy boots, just we'll use some very neutral examples on this. So if everybody in your house always wears cowboy boots, and that's what they see as normal, well, then they start hanging out with their friends, kids in the neighborhood, especially when they start going to school. When they start going to school, this becomes more predominant. They see that there's these people over here don't wear cowboy boots every day. That's not the normal attire they have in their house. So it's different. From that perspective is where they will see whether or not it's good or bad. But a lot of those opinions will fall on to y'all, you as parents, the environment they raised up in. If at home they're taught that everybody that wears tennis shoes all day, every day, or when they go to work or whatever, they don't work near as hard as those people that wear cowboy boots every day. That's the opinion they have. So when they go to school and they start seeing people wearing tennis shoes, like, all right, you're good people, but you don't work near as hard as those people that wear cowboy boots every day. Again, using these for examples. Yeah, I feel sorry for those Croc people. We try not to hold too much against them, but they are a little bit on the learning curve. So we use big crayons when we talk with the Croc people. I'm joking. So anyway, they go to school, they start seeing the difference, and that's when they start their comparison. And a lot of this comparison will be based on your opinions. And these opinions are typically things you're not aware that you gave them. That's perspective based. Because remember, you can make a simple statement of, oh, those people, and to you it may seem like something small, something minor, but to them, that's a predominant thing. And they start seeing that. Because they will recognize what you see, what the environment you created for them will become their normal. And that is the key to remember. So Peach, this is more specific on what I would discuss, is that what you create to be the normal is what they will see as normal. Even if the life you live is abnormal from what you see the world as, you have to remember the blinders that these children have on. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, their eyes are slowly opening up, but they are not opened up all the way yet. So their normal is what they grew up with. That was the people that were in the house. If they grew up in a house where it was a blended family, or a divorced parents, or a single parent, or a parent that has other significant others that come and go, or as a E&M dynamic, that becomes their normal. They don't see it being differently. Exactly. But that becomes the social norm that they see around. And how you react to things and how you react to both your actions as well as actions of others is what they will deem as their foundation. They have no perspective on the world yet. This is how they gain it. This is where they gain it. And it will start with both the example they have in their house. So if they're in a house where sitting down every afternoon and having a beer after work is normal, and nobody says anything of it, they will not see that as a negative thing. They will not see it as a hostile thing. They will see that just as no different than somebody having a glass of tea or drinking water all afternoon. And they hang around one of their friends, and say one of their friends mentions how at their house alcohol had been an issue. It's a negative context. And you mentioned, well, my house, my parents sit down and they have a drink most every night, or they've got no problem drinking in front of me. They got no problem doing anything. Then that's where the opinions and perspective will change, or they will have the influence to make that choice. So the friend may be going, "Oh well, you got alcohol in your house, so you've got a negative thing going on there," and your children could say, "Well, it's not an issue at the house," but the influence their parents have is what's caused them to see alcohol as a negative thing, especially if it has justifiable grounds. Yeah, it's everything is based around what they see. So as 0 to 3, they see a house. 3 to 6, they start seeing the neighborhood. We'll say 6 to 12, especially when you get into school, then it actually breaks down a little bit sooner than that prior to pubescence. The age change difference, again, I don't have my notes. That it changes to where each time their world starts to expand. So it goes from a house to the neighborhood, to the town, to the city, to the state, to the entire environment they're around. And as their eyes open up, as they progress through time, they start to see more of the world. And then that's when they start comparing how they grew up and what they see as normal as compared to what other people see as normal. And our goal as parents is to hope that by the time they are of legal age of 18, just for the sake of legality reasons, that they are set out into the world to make good decisions and make their own choices and figure out what they're going to create as their new norm. But we have to remember that our influence on them started from the minute they took their first breath. And that's when we taught them the foundation of what's normal. And everything they see of that, if they decide that they want to live a different type of life and they want that to be their normal, they will always acknowledge that fact that this is my normal, but it is different than the normal I grew up with. And it's our responsibility to allow them to have those choices safely, sanely, consensually, and figure out what they want to consider their own normal, because it doesn't have to match ours. That gives any 2 cents. Thank you very much. But you are normal to you. You are normal in your own perspective. So people see you as who you are. We've all had the statements of, "Oh, somebody acting like that's out of character, it's outside their norm, it's not what I would expect from them." These are all the things that even the people around us begin to base these baselines of what they consider not just their norm, but also our norm with them, or how we interact with them. They will either come back to what they've been taught, or they will base that as the reference of what they do not come back to. That's the complex part, is that it may not be the direction they go, but it may be the reason why they go a different direction. And that, unfortunately, is that no matter what we want to do, no matter how much we try to not affect our children. So, for example, those people that are against their children drinking, and I'm not condoning, but just bear with me on the conversation here, that if you do not drink in front of your children, social drinks, then they will learn the fact that when you drink, it's very taboo. It's something you do behind closed doors. They're going to see you. They're going to catch you. They're going to know it's there. You know, you got beer in the refrigerator, but they never see you drink a beer. But they also know that those beers go missing, or that they're different. They're going to see it as something to sneak around with. They're going to see it as something that should be behind you. But the fact that you get up in the morning and you drink coffee every morning, they don't bat an eye about that because you have no problem exposing them to that. I'm not saying go get drunk in front of your children. I do not think that's good. I think you need to keep your wits about you. But because of the very reason why some of the accusations go into the statement of people having issues drinking in front of children, is because they are worried about the children growing up to drink, which means you have a perspective of a drinking problem and you're worried about your children incorporating that, which you absolutely should. So you should lead by example, that if you don't want to show them you're drinking, don't drink. There's just... I raised my children in a house that they were unaware of. So my partner and I, when we were raising the kids, we decided we were not going to hide them from things. We were not going to sit there and explain everything to them as to exactly how different it was from the social norm. But at the same time, we were not going to deprive them of knowledge or experience. So we lived our life as parents should, doing things in front of children that are politically and correct for children to be witness to. Our friends that came over, we handled our friends just the same as we would be. We would do anything in front of children that is both normal by one perspective. We didn't do anything in front of the kids that's not appropriate to do around kids. That's just your judgment call of being a parent. You know, obviously things that belong in the bedroom belong in the bedroom. It's not anything you do in front of your kids in the first place, whether it's a vanilla relationship, an ethical non-monogamous, an alternative relationship, power exchange relationship. None of that makes any difference. All the stuff is, I have adolescents. What do we do in front of adolescents? Definitely not going to do anything that is adult oriented. That's not for kids. That doesn't mean we won't have discussions. Not my job to educate them, but I don't know. I don't think having intimate relations in front of children is not good. Don't do that. But that doesn't mean you can't have conversations. That doesn't mean you can't be affectionate in front of your children. It doesn't mean you can't show how you like to teach, how you want to. They're going to lead by example. That, unfortunately, is the case on it. That how they see they grew up, as to how they saw the adults in their world interact with 1, 2, 3, 10, doesn't matter. Those that come and go, those that stay. The way you interact with them is going to become the baseline of what they consider normal. And how they view that will determine whether or not it's something that the reason why they didn't do that is because they didn't enjoy growing up, so they did the exact opposite, or another variation of, or it may be the reason why this is what I consider normal, this is how I'm going to live. Absolutely, you just have to remember your audience. You're talking to children. You're talking to adolescents. You're talking to people that need to comprehend this at a different level than what I would do if I was talking to an adult. It's just period. Your normal is what the kids will see as normal. How are you doing? Oh yeah, they are. You'll get outgunned real quick when you try to battle with teenagers. Real quick. You want to raise smart kids, which I highly recommend you do. You want to raise kids to think on their own, which I highly recommend you do. You want to raise kids to go ask questions so they can explore the world and not be naive to everything that's going on around, and not just take what somebody said as being, hey, this is the truth, and not questioning it, which I highly recommend you do. It's going to come at a cost. For a minute. All right, am I back? So my method of parenting has its pros and cons. I learned a lot of lessons being a parent. I made a lot of mistakes, as we all do. There's a lot of things that I learned after the fact. And looking back on it, obviously there's always things that we wish we could change. It's the end result that matters. I have 3 really good kids. They're beautiful souls. They got so many good stories about them just being good people. But we raised them in a way that we expected them to have an aha moment. We made a decision that we were not going to deprive them of knowledge, and we would be honest with them with questions they asked appropriate to their age. So when my 10-year-old would ask me questions, obviously I would answer that different than I would if my 15-year-old asked me the same question. It's just part of being a parent. We understand how that changes. All right, what did I miss on here? Normal. Yeah. Oh yes, I ship everywhere in the world. U.S., Canada. I've shipped quite a bit of places. Sorry if I missed a question on that one. So where's I going with that? See, this is where a squirrel. I'll ship it to Norway. I ship everything flat rate, so the U.S. has a flat rate shipping cost. We'd have to do the exchange rate unless you deal with dollars. But I literally just converted over. Shipping is not cheap. Don't get me wrong, but I literally just charge shipping what I get charged. I don't make any profit off the shipping. I don't look to make any profit off the shipping. But yeah, I will ship wherever it needs to go. But I haven't been to Norway yet. That's on my bucket list. I do several events international that I teach at. Budapest. I'll be in Budapest in November, providing all goes as planned this year. I think it's my only international trip that I actually have scheduled so far this year. It's been kind of a festive scheduling year, so. But yeah, I think that's the only one that I've got international so far this year. Typically I do 3 to 4, but being down for shoulder surgery has kind of thrown everything for a loop on that one. All right, where was I at on that one? Thank you very much, Michael. Oh, there's an event going on there. I highly recommend you could do it if you can. It's called HUNCON, Huncon. It's in Budapest. It will be first weekend in November. It's in the very beginning of November. I still need to go back date. I don't know if we've outlined what courses we're going to be teaching there just yet. I don't think I've done the specifics on it yet. I can't remember. I got invited to go teach at it as soon as last year's event ended up on it. I've taught at it several times. But yeah, if you're up for international travel and got your passport, which I highly recommend you do anyway, Budapest. HUNCON. Good time. Oh, nice. Have you ever been to Budapest? It's phenomenal. It's beautiful, beautiful in all the ways. All right, so where did I leave off on the adulting thing and parenting? I didn't want to drop the ball on that one. For those of y'all that loyally follow this thing, y'all understand that I squirrel a lot, and I try to get y'all to help keep me in check. But one of the topics that I keep squirreling on is I keep forgetting to show y'all these gifts that I have to figure out where I'm going to hang them at. That I know the person that sent them to me. Unfortunately, is not a follower. But where do we change this? Flip the camera around again. I keep moving it. So this was one of the gifts that one of my fans had sent me, as well as that one. And then, look at that beautifulness. Yeah. So these are 3 of the gifts. This is actually an oil painting. It was actually done for me, hand done for me. Just really love that one. And these are 3 gifts, but so I just thought they were quite fitting for me and my taste. That's why they keep moving this whole flip the camera thing. Below the lights on the bottom one. Oh, you talking about, that's not actually, you're referring to this? You're referring to this? This is actually an incense burner. I bought that several years ago. But yeah, they're just little cheap bejeweled on it. Yeah. And they're semi black light, but not too much. But I'll get some more. I'll get them sorted out. But yeah, I'm working on doing my decor, and I've thrown those actually up on it, and they're all on canvas, so love that. All right. Oh, what you doing in here, girl? Do you want in the house? You can go in there. She's very curious today. So, y'all remember I was talking to y'all about the caterpillars? Not actually caterpillars, but my tree drops these. They look like little caterpillars, but they're buds, blossoms, whatever. And when they get wet, they stick to everything. And I do mean everything. So when it's dry, they're very light and they blow away and it's good. But we just, we got a heavy dew, heavy moistures out here right now. And we're here on the field trip. All right, you need to go back. I'll show you. Well, you saw the picture. We were just showing the pictures and the carvings that I had, or the portraits that I put on. All right, I'm going to put y'all on pause for a minute. I'm going to run to the bathroom right quick. I will be right back. Let's see if I can get it done within the 5 minutes. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Keep hitting the likes, loves, and all this stuff, and we will be right back at it. It'll be just a few minutes, okay? However I do this. That's end. We don't want to end. They keep changing this shit all around. About me, voice topics, settings, pause. There we go. We're back. All right, what we got here? No, the trip to Budapest is in November. Yeah, November is going to be the Budapest trip. Still got a lot of details I got to sort out on that one, but I'm going to take this sling off to do this plaiting because this sling catches on it. Get some more tea going. Yeah, this red tea is a good change. If you ever had red tea, I recommend it. Oh, I sympathize with y'all on the snow. I truly do. It's beautiful, but I like my Texas weather. Okay, let's see if I can get out of this somewhat. There we go. I can do that. All right. So, where are we at on the discussions? So we were discussing with the children. So, as parents, it's our job to try to protect the children, and I couldn't. It's our primary goal to raise kids, protect them, and to get them set out in the world with the right tools and everything they need to to get started in the world right. And I think, unfortunately, there are times when we get a little overprotective. It's again, I'm not trying not to be judgmental on how people parent. Everybody's got their own methods, to each their own on those choices. But we base our protective nature on our experiences. So we try to keep the kids from going through some of the same hell that we did. I think if you're not doing that, that's a parent thing. Hell yes, thank you very much. Keep those loves going. So I think we do get wrapped up in, if we grew up in a household that we saw as having, we'll just use alcohol as an issue, then we try not to drink around our kids. We don't want them to go through the same thing we went through as children, and we're not wrong for that. So don't take it as that statement. But if we're not creating the same environment that we grew up in, then that's a different situation than our children. If alcohol in your house is not